going on. I had always felt like I had unseen people around me, like I was being watched and watched over. And when I told my mom, when I was 8 or 9, she said, "Oh, you have a wonderful imagination. You're so creative. That's great." And she never put me down, but she didn't have any experience with this. She didn't know what to say. And so I didn't know until later when I had the experience of having a spirit appear in my mind's eye during a reading that I realized, oh, that's what that is. That's what that feeling is. That's how all my life I've had pictures of people pop into my head. And so there was that. There were also spontaneous out-of-body experiences starting when I was about 12. And that was kind of freaky. And there were also predictions. As I got older, I would make predictions, and my friends would be like, "Yeah, okay, whatever." And sometimes they were just little things. But again, I really didn't know what was going on until later. And throughout my 30s, I was searching for really what my gifts and talents were so that I could use them in service to others. And so a lot of people came into my experience who taught me things. They taught me about the chakras, and they taught me about medical intuition, and they taught me about psychicness, and they taught me about all kinds of things. And I started to figure out that this is what was going on. And the information comes to me kind of subtly. I have to really be paying attention. Another question that usually comes up at this point is, are you just bombarded by dead people all the time? Or are you, does it drive you crazy to have information come at you all the time? And that's really not what it's like. One psychic has likened it to being.
That's actually one of the questions I had.
Yeah.
Someone asked me to ask you that, if you can tell if a loved one has crossed over.
Yes.
Are you in tune to that at any time where you can tell, yes, your loved brother or someone has crossed over?
Yes, that's what a medium is. Every medium is a psychic, but not every psychic is a medium. A psychic is a person who can foresee the future or the past, or who can look at your energy, talk about what's going to happen in your life. A medium is a person who communicates with spirits of people who've passed away. And so, like I said, not every psychic is a medium. So yeah, I definitely, I have those faces pop into my head, but it's like being a radio. If you want to listen to a song on the radio, you have to turn it on and tune it to a station that has music. And so that's kind of how I am. I'm like a radio. I have to the ability on and pay attention to it and listen to it. I'm not really just bombarded by it all the time.
Okay. I want to come back to that a little bit. One of the first questions I wanted to back up and ask
Sure.
is some of the misconceptions of
Yeah.
your talent. Because as you know, when I first met you, I was a little weary of talking to you.
Yeah.
I was raised in a Christian environment, and I thought it was evil. And, you told me, well, I'm a Christian too. And I was like, what? Misconceptions. Let's talk about that for just real briefly, because that's something that even other people that I talk to and saying, I'm going to be interviewing you today, they're a little hesitant. I'm like, no, just tune in, and you'll see. So talk about that with us.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, you remember when you and I first met, there were people who were still calling me spooky because they'd say, like, you're so normal, but you have all this weird stuff going on. And it's true. I'm just an ordinary person. I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan. I don't do yoga every day, although there's nothing wrong with any of those things, but I'm not that kind of a person. I'm much more of a typical traditional kind of person. As far as my gifts are concerned, it's interesting without getting into a big religious discussion. And religion and spirituality are two different things. But I find that most people who are Catholic or who were raised Catholic have an easier time with what I do because they are accustomed to people talking to angels and spirits and saints. And that's part of their experience. Whereas the Protestants, especially Baptists, are more likely to go, eek, get away from me, you're the devil, Well, we were all given gifts by God, or if you prefer the universe, or whatever that powerful force is, the creative force. We were all given gifts. We were all born with gifts. Mine happened to be this woo-woo weird thing. And, I would not be living my life right if I weren't using my gifts in service to others. That's what we're all here to do. And if we would all use our gifts, we would feel happy, because it feels good when you use your talents, and those around us would be served by those gifts, and there would be balance, because there seems to be a balanced distribution of gifts among everybody. So yeah, I really feel this is my calling, my duty, my privilege, and there's nothing evil about it. I really, I don't want to put down other practitioners, but you will never hear me say anything about dark spirits, dark energy, evil things, demons. You'll never hear me say any of that. And if you see something on TV where they're talking to children who are psychic about, oh, there's a dead lady in the house and she's mad at you, some garbage like that, I can't stand it. I don't believe in any of that. Fear is not truth. Fear is not light. Fear is not where you belong. So everything I do is based in love, and I consider it to be a gift from whatever that is that you call it. I consider it a gift. So there you go.
And that's a great segue into the main question that a lot of people have asked me to ask you is how do you know when you have this gift? And then the part two of it is how do you then, practice that and feed it and
Yeah.
educate yourself on how to use it
Yeah.
in service of others?
Yeah, great. Well, like I said, not everybody has enough of it to make a business out of it. In fact, I think that's a very small percentage. But if you feel like, if you feel that sort of tug, especially when you're out in public, that's where I would notice it most often. Is when I was out in public, that was when faces would pop into my head, strangers' faces, and ideas and things that I wasn't thinking of, like sitting there, and I'd suddenly feel like I have to look at this table over here, and I'd look over there and I could see that this woman, oh, that she just had a miscarriage or whatever. I could feel that, I could sense that. So if you have these kinds of experiences, then, and you want to develop that, then there are ways to do it. One of the things I recommend is to read everything you can get your hands on about spirituality, psychic stuff, all kinds of things. There's a series of books called the Everything Blank book, sort of like the For Dummies series. There's an, like everything cooking book, everything blah, blah. There is an everything psychic book. And so you can find that, and it's got, just brief information about tarot cards and angel cards and what a psychic is and what a medium is and all that kind of thing, energy healing, things like that. And so you can kind of get just a little taste of what all those things are, and pay attention to what appeals to you. Just because someone says, hey, you should learn to use oracle cards, doesn't mean that that's your thing. Like, personally, I can pretty much read anything. I mean, if you hand me something, I can read it, because it's not actually in the thing, it's everywhere, and I can tune into whatever. But I'm not crazy about tarot cards. I never learned to read them. I don't really like them. They always look kind of scary to me. And I don't like creepy and scary, if you hadn't noticed. And so I don't read tarot cards. I like angel cards. I think most of them are beautiful and useful and very helpful, and I can read them really well. So, try everything. Tap into things, see how it feels. And if you're really not getting anything, there are a lot of people who teach how to become more psychic, or how to tap into your intuition and that sort of thing. Meditation is also very, very useful. And before you say, no, I can't meditate, which is what most people say, keep in mind that, yes, actually, Susan says you can. I have a meditation guide that's the super easy meditation guide for people who can't meditate. And there are lots of other methods of meditation that you can learn, and you can learn to do it, and it'll really help you calm down and tune in. Yoga is another good way to do that. It helps you get centered. It helps you kind of feel like you've had a massage of your spirit. It's a wonderful way to connect with spirit. So I hope that gives you some place to start.
Okay, fantastic. We're going to see if we can talk to one of our other callers here.
Okay, great.
Please call back in. Caller, you here? Is someone else here on line with us? All right. Are you still here? Are you here with us? Okay, you there? Okay, is he still here?
Yes. Can you hear me? I hear you. I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There?
I am. Yeah. Have you got your caller?
Everyone's showing on our screen, everyone's being live and their mics being on. Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you. Trish, I can hear you. Trish, hello.
So I'm hearing noise. Can anyone say or hearing?
Hello, Trish, I can hear you. I guess I'll keep trying until she can hear me.
Oh, wait. I can see that now.
Yay! Yes, I'm here.
Okay, you see me there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I know.
Can you hear me? Hello. Oh, look, you can see my cat. Look, that's Blue. His name's Blue. He's a Maine Coon. He weighs 20 pounds.
You there?
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me? Ah, you'd think that Mercury was still retrograde. Couldn't go back to the creases. The best I could do was... Hello, I'm still here. Well, it's a beautiful day here in Conroe, Texas. really beautiful. There are people out there working in the yard, and birds are singing and flitting past my window.
There?
Yes, I'm here.
Susan,
Yes. Can you hear me?
are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, I'm here.
Okay. I don't know what is going on. This is very, very frustrating. So I can't get other callers, and when I try to get other callers, then I lose you. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, you want to convey a question to me?
Well, as I said, we had some other callers that had questions, but yeah, I did have another caller or another person that wasn't able to call in. He's out on a truck route right now, and he's a great friend of mine. He had been morbidly obese, and his mother actually died from being morbidly obese.
Wow.
And he has lost a lot of weight. And in the transition, I helped him start a blog. And now he has over 100 different blog posts, and he's reaching people all over the world. He's trying to pay it forward by helping others, but he's still kind of questioning things.
Yeah.
Questioning his faith, questioning his position in life, questioning what's next, even.
Mm-hmm.
So, what can you tell him? What can you tell us on something like that? We've got about 4 minutes out of this show left.
Okay. Can you give me his first name?
Yeah, his name's William.
William. Okay. Yeah, actually, it's interesting that he's wondering, what his path is, because he seems to have found it. He's definitely doing what he's here to do, and if he doesn't realize the impact he's having on other people's lives, then he needs to wake up and pay attention. What it feels like is he's a little bit secluded, a little bit in a bubble. And like you said, he's driving a truck route today, which makes me think that he's spending time alone in his truck. But actually, there are more people paying attention to him than he realizes. He's touching a lot more people than he realizes. And he feels like he's not. He thinks he's reached the end of a journey, but he really is still in the beginning, and he can't feel that or see it yet, but I can see it. Yeah, so he's going to continue going. I'm a little concerned about his health, in that as he has improved his health, he needs to make sure that he's keeping in touch with his doctor to make sure that there was not damage done along the way. Okay, so that's the kind of advice I give when I know the person can do something about it. Otherwise, that information doesn't come to me. Like if you were my client and you were going to drop dead tomorrow, I probably wouldn't even get that information. But if you needed to see the doctor about your liver or your heart or something, I would get that information because it's something you can do something about. So that's what I'm talking about with him. He really needs to be sure that he's checking in with his doctor very regularly, make sure there's not any damage done along the way, so that he stays healthy. And I can see him being a big inspiration to a lot of people. And if he hasn't considered turning his blog into a book, he definitely should. Or as I say,
He has.
Yeah.
I actually introduced him to a fellow author that actually I'm going to be interviewing here in a few weeks. And he went
Fantastic.
to a workshop with David Freed on that. So, yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, he definitely, and I said he should look into it, but I always say that I don't tell you what you should do, I tell you what you will do. So I can tell you, you should break up with this person, or you should write a book or whatever. And really what I'm going to tell you is what you will do. And in his case, he's definitely going to come out with a book. Most people do not leave the relationships that I tell them to leave. So some of them leave unintentionally, but yeah, most people don't take that advice.
Well, that was our computer telling us 90 seconds. So
Okay.
in this last little bit, Susan, you had mentioned earlier about the meditation guide, and that has actually been a help to me, because that was one thing I told you, like, nope, I can't meditate. I can't get my brain to slow down enough to meditate.
Right.
Give us your website information.
Okay.
And how people can contact.
Okay.
Since we were kind of limited on our time today, and
Yes.
I want people to be able to contact you, since I've told everybody I can possibly tell, because you've detrimental to me.
Well,
The
thank
last
you.
45 seconds.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll just tell you how to find me on the web. It's SusanKMorrow.com. I'm going to spell that. It's SUSAN, middle initial K, MORROW.com, just like tomorrow, not marrow like bone marrow. You'll never find me. So SusanKMorrow.com. I do events every month, regular events that are inexpensive, where you can get some sample readings and great information. So check those out online. You'll find the books there under Baubles and Books. There are all kinds of events, like I said, and of course you can get readings. I do 3 different types of readings, and one of them will fit your budget and your need for psychic guidance. Again, SusanKMorrow.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, thanks, Trish. Yeah, thank you.
Holy shit, that was awful.
I can still hear you.